Hi friends, welcome to this new video on astrology. In today's video, I'll tell you whether, how will you come to know whether two people are destined to marry each other or not. Alright, so how will you know from their birth charts? So we'll discuss that. Today's video is going to be very interesting. Do watch till the end, because towards the end of the video I will show you two birth charts, okay, and I will match them, and I will show you how you can match birth charts, do horoscope matching, and you can say from the birth charts whether the two people, they are really going to get married or not. Are they destined to be life partners or not? Alright, so do watch the video till the end. Sorry. If you want consultation, details, my WhatsApp number is there in the video description. Alright, and do subscribe and share and like the video. Alright, so friends, let's get started. Now, how will you know whether two people, they are really going to get married? The first thing that you need to look at is the Darakaraka planet. The Darakaraka planet is the planet which is the significator of the spouse. Alright, so you need to look at that planet. Okay, now which planet is the Darakaraka? The planet which has the lowest degrees in the birth chart. Okay, out of all the planets, the planet which has the lowest degrees, that planet is the Darakaraka, or significator of your spouse. Alright, okay. Now, suppose you look at the birth chart of a female. In the birth chart of the female, say Darakaraka is Sun. Alright, Sun is at the lowest degrees. Alright, say 0 degrees or 1 degree. 0 degree or 1 degree. Now, you have to look at, next you will look at the chart of the male or the male native. Now, in the male native's chart, Sun has to be a very important planet. Only then we can say that, that particular male native is suitable as a life partner, or there is some connection that yes, they can get married. At least one confirmation you get from there. Now, we have to proceed step by step. It is not that you quickly look at the charts and you can say that, yeah, they will get married. No, you need to do certain matching. You need to look at both the charts, horoscopes carefully. Alright? Now, in the chart of the female native, I told you Sun is Darakaraka. So, in the chart of the male native, Sun will be a very important planet. What do you mean by important? Important means Sun will either be the ascendant lord, yes, either the ascendant lord, or Sun may be the 5th lord or 9th lord. Okay? Or you may find that Sun is strongly placed either in the 1st house, 5th house, or 9th house. That is also possible. Alright? What else? Now, Leo. The sign Leo is ruled by Sun. So that male native's moon, it might be in Leo, because then moon's dispositor will be Sun. So that is also possible. Okay? Dispositor of the moon may be Sun, or moon may be in Leo, or Sun may be in Leo, or the ascendant lord may be in Leo. That means Sun has to be a very strong planet in their chart. That is, at one level you have matched. Okay? To some extent, this is just to some extent. Then what you should do? You should look at the chart of the male native. In the chart of the male native, which planet is at the lowest degrees. Find out. Say in the chart of the male native, Mercury is at the lowest degrees. Okay, say at 1 or 2 degree. Alright. Now, Mercury has to be a very important planet in the chart of the female native. Mercury has to be very important in the chart of the female native. Same rule will apply again. Mercury may be the ascendant lord, okay, or Mercury may be the 5th lord or 9th lord, or Mercury might be strongly placed in the 1st, 5th or 9th houses, okay, or Moon might be in Gemini, because Moon is very important in the chart. Moon might be in Gemini or Virgo, because Gemini, Virgo are ruled by Mercury, okay. Even Sun could be in Gemini or Virgo, because Sun is also important in a chart, or the ascendant lord may be in Gemini or Virgo. So at least any of these conditions has to be fulfilled, okay. But Mercury has to be well placed in the chart. Then you can say that now the Darakaraka in the chart of the male native is very important in the chart of the female native. And the Darakaraka planet in the chart of the female native is very important as a planet in the chart of the male native. So this is the first condition which needs to be fulfilled. Now you might be thinking, if the Darakaraka planet matches, say both the charts, the Darakaraka planets are matching, alright? So that means they are going to get married to each other. So that means they are really destined to marry. Not always. It is not so simple, okay? Only if the Darakaraka planets are matching, you cannot just blindly say that they will definitely get married. You can't say that blindly, okay? So you can't make such a blind prediction that okay, because Darakaraka is matching, so they will, by default they will get married. That you can't say. But at least the first important and the most important condition is fulfilled. Alright? Then what else you have to look at? Then definitely you have to look at the dasha. The dasha of the dasha or the mahadasha or the period which the female native and the male native, what period or dasha they are running. That is very important. Alright? So look at the mahadasha, look at the antardasha also. Alright? So mahadasha and antardasha should, should influence the planets which are connected to the 7th house and 11th house. Very important. Mahadasha or Antardasha. The 7th house and 11th house, they need to get activated. That's very important. Okay? So somehow, 7th house is very important because 7th house is the house of marriage. The 7th house needs to get activated during the Mahadasha or Antardasha, which the natives are running. And Mahadasha, Antardasha, the planets which they are going to signify. Okay, now say a particular Mahadasha, say they are running the Jupiter Mahadasha. The female native is running the Jupiter Mahadasha. And Jupiter is the 7th lord. Okay, but how is Jupiter placed in their chart? Is the 7th lord in the 11th house? Then definitely the female native is going to get married during that Mahadasha. If the female native is running the Mahadasha of Jupiter, like that. Okay, so that you have to see. Now, the male native. The male native, say, is running the Mahadasha of say moon, and moon is the 11th lord. Okay, moon is the 11th lord. 11th lord, 11th house is the house of gains. Now moon is the 11th lord. Now Antardasha, somehow the 7th lord is coming into the picture in the Antardasha. Okay, so Antardasha is pointing towards the 7th house. Okay, then definitely, so you can look at which planets are being, which houses are being activated during the Mahadasha and Antardasha, that you can look at also from, definitely you can look at it from KP astrology. Which houses are being activated during a certain Mahadasha. Say you're running the Mahadasha of Jupiter, but which houses are getting activated? 7th house, 11th house. What are the houses? 2nd house. So these are pointers that yes, the female native can definitely get married and the promise of marriage is there. Similarly, look at the male native's Mahadasha also. Which planet is the Mahadasha lord and which are the houses which are getting activated during that Mahadasha. Mahadasha is very important. Also, you can look at the Antardasha. But the Mahadasha should not negate the event of marriage. Okay, because ultimately Mahadasha lord or the Mahadasha planet is going to be very powerful. It should not negate the event of marriage. Okay, so usually when the 8th or 12th houses get activated, then we say that the event may be denied. Alright, so just look at it. Somehow you want the 7th and 11th houses. 7th house or the 11th house and 2nd house, these houses should get activated. That also you need to check. So say Dharakaraka planets are matching, but the Mahadasha or Antardasha is not supporting the event of marriage, then definitely there could be a very big question mark whether the marriage will happen or not. So Mahadasha has to support, or an Antardasha, I mean the Dasha has to support, in the case of the male native and also in the case of the female native. That is again the second most important condition. Actually, this is the most important condition, the Dasha. Because whatever, our chart may have a lot of promises. Okay, your birth chart. But those events will get fructified, or those events will actually happen if the Dasha is supporting that event. Alright? So yeah, this is actually the most important condition. Then definitely you have also looked at the Dharakaraka planets. If they are also matching, the Dashas are also supporting the respective Dashas that the two people are running, then both the indications are positive that these two people can get married. Alright? Okay. Now say in the chart of the female native, I told you Sun is the Dharakaraka planet. But Sun is in conjunction with Rahu, say. Sun is in strong conjunction with Rahu. Then, you know what happens? Rahu and Sun, they are enemies. And Sun-Rahu strong conjunction is not considered to be positive combination. Okay? So, Rahu, the planet of illusion, the planet of even cheating and darkness, okay, is now overshadowing the beauty and power of Sun. That is not a very positive conjunction. And now Rahu is conjunct your Dharakaraka Lord. Whether it is Sun, whether it is any other planet, whichever planet is your Dharakaraka. Now Rahu generally gives you good results after from the age of 42 onwards. 42 onwards. And Saturn also starts giving you good results from the age of when you're around 35. So from 35 onwards, even Saturn, gives you results. Things which were getting delayed and which were not happening, So those things also start happening. You get result of your hard work. So even Saturn starts giving you good results from the age of 35 onwards. So when the Karaka is placed in such a problematic way, say it is in strong conjunction with Rahu, then it is advisable that the native should get married after the age of 30 at least, not before that. At least, then Saturn will start giving the native good results. And if Saturn is somehow aspecting the Darakaraka now, Saturn might be aspecting the Darakaraka planet. Okay? It is already in conjunction with Rahu. I'm just giving you an example. And Saturn is aspecting the Darakaraka planet. Then at least if the native gets married at the age of 35, what will happen? Then the native's person now, the female native, her prospective partner will definitely have a strong Rahu in their chart. Why? Because in her chart, the Darakaraka planet, Sun, which is the significator of the spouse, is in strong conjunction with Rahu. Alright? So Rahu also will be a very strong planet, and it will have a strong influence over their partner's chart. Okay? And so this native should not get married very early. Anyway, Rahu starts giving you good results from the age of, say, around 40 onwards. Okay? I'm not saying that you need to wait till 40, but at least 35. So that at least Saturn becomes positive. Okay? Not just in their chart, but also in their person's chart. Saturn will start giving them good results. Even in their male native's chart. Whether Saturn is aspecting the Darakaraka or not, irrespective of that. At least the Saturn is your karma, and even the results of your karma. So, actions. So, their person's chart also, definitely if a female native is around 35, then she will look for a partner, generally speaking, she will look for a partner who is around 35, at least, 30, 35 or within 30 to 40. If the female native, say, is 35, then she will look for a partner who's in that age bracket, 30 to 40. Alright? So, then what happens? Even in that person's birth chart, what happens? Saturn will start giving them good results. Because they are also mature in age. Okay? And they will get the results of their hard work if they have been hardworking. So they will start reaping the harvest of their hard work. Okay? And perseverance. So it's going to be a good for them then. Alright? Both of them will be mature enough. So even if Darakaraka is conjunct with Rahu, that will not make much, that will not cast, a very negative impact. If, at least they are mature. Yes? So that is important. Along with maturity, along with age, people even learn how to handle the energy of Rahu. So that also comes with maturity. Rahu is not just darkness. Rahu is also intelligence. Rahu can show expansion. Rahu can also signify online technology. Okay? So along with age, you may learn how to handle the Rahu energy. Rahu is spreading your network. When you spread your network, your business network, or you try to reach out to people through social media technology, through online technology, when you try to expand your business by, with the help of proper networking technology, that is also Rahu. Because Rahu is expansion and growth. Yes, and it can also give you sudden expansion and growth. Alright? So, along with maturity and, age, at least when the natives are above 30, say around 35, they are in a position to make, sensible decisions in life. Yes, and they become more serious naturally. Yes, they become more serious about life. And that is why, Saturn gives them good results. They become more serious generally about their work, about, the gains which they need to acquire from their hard work. They become very serious about things in life. So that is a good thing actually. So if marriage happens after the age of 30, say at the age of, when you're around 33, 35, that is actually a very good thing. So I have seen that when people get married at a mature age, the marriage also is somehow, those marriages are even successful. I'm not saying this is the thumb rule that always they will be successful if you're getting married after 30, 35. It's not a thumb rule, but yes, if you look at it from a logical standpoint, then yes, the marriage is going to work because both the natives are now quite mature. They're no longer childlike, whimsical, like they were in their teenage. No, they're no longer teenagers. They're no longer here to, play with their lives. This is not the case actually. Exceptions will be there everywhere. Okay? But what I'm saying is generally speaking, people tend to mature. After the age of 33, they tend to mature. So if you get married at that age, it's very suitable. Okay? So then even the negative, Saturn will start giving you good results, and the negative impact which Rahu has on your chart or Darakaraka planet, that negative effect of Rahu also will, to a great extent, it will be, at least it will get diminished. It diminishes along with age. Even the negative impact of Rahu. And so you get married, say at the age of 33, 35, and as you proceed towards 40, so after 40, 42, Rahu does not give you negative results generally. Because then you are quite mature. And by that age, you're able to handle the energy of Rahu. Yes, generally speaking. Yes, so after the age of 42, Rahu usually doesn't trouble you that much. Unless someone is a gone case and they are into addictions and they are not able to revive themselves and they're like totally spoiled and they're into a deep addiction. So those are exceptional cases. Otherwise, generally, Rahu will stop giving you negative results. And, it's all up to the native. So, if Sun and Rahu conjunction is there, it can also give you wonderful results. A very great astrologer from South India once was discussing this, I remember. That, if you have Sun Rahu conjunction also, you can get very good results. How? Sun is your ethicality, morality also. So if you have Sun Rahu conjunction, along with age, maturity, you are determined that you will stick to the path of morality, ethicality. Then Sun is knowledge also. Rahu is hidden knowledge. Anything which is hidden, secretive. You can you can do very well in the field of occult knowledge. In the field of research, any kind of research, you can do very well. Investigation. Any kind of in-depth study, you can do very well with this conjunction, Sun Rahu. And you will get very good results actually. Rahu will now magnify and expand all the good qualities of the Sun. Say your Sun is well placed in, say, in Leo or in Cancer. You are somebody who's very ethical. Okay? You're very ethical. You believe in your moral principles and you stick to them no matter what. Then Rahu will expand your goodness also. So just It's like that. I mean, and that will happen with age and maturity. When you gain knowledge, wisdom in life, yes, then Rahu will expand your goodness, your knowledge, it can expand. Yes, so even if Sun Rahu conjunction can make you very successful, but this happens with maturity actually. Yes, so that is why I say that even if the Dharkarka planet is conjunct with Rahu, if you decide to get married at a mature age, it is always good. Now, your Dharkarka planet may be aspected by Rahu also. Look at your chart. Rahu might be casting 5th aspect, 9th aspect, 7th aspect on your Dharkarka planet. Then also you need to be careful. So getting married at a mature age is always the best option. I would say inevitably the better option. That can show, or I can say that if you do that, at a mature age, then the marriage is more likely to be successful. All right, at least at the age of 33 onwards, or at least after 30. That is a very good age actually. So that also you need to find out. If Rahu is in conjunction, if your Dharkarka planet is in conjunction or has combination with problematic planets like Rahu, then be careful about the time also. Now definitely the Mahadasha or the Dasha has to support the event of marriage. That is true, no doubt. But you know that Mahadasha of planets, they run for many years. Yes, say the Mahadasha of planets run for 20 years, 16 years, 17 years. Different planets have different periods. So for many years they run. So the Mahadasha of the planet keeps running. Alright. So the promise of marriage is there during the Mahadasha, but wait for the right time to get married. So that also could be a very good decision. Alright. What else? I will show you 2 birth charts. I'll give you the example of 2 birth charts, and I will match and show you how you need to look at the Dharkarka planet and how you need to match the Dharkarkas. Towards the end of the video, I'll do that. Then what else you can say? Look at the 7th Lord in your chart. The 7th Lord, which planets are aspecting your 7th Lord? The 7th Lord is the Lord of the 7th house. 7th house is the house of marriage, partnership, your life partner. So, which planets are aspecting the 7th Lord? Very important. And the 7th Lord is in which zodiac sign? And the sign Lord, how is it placed in the chart? So, all these things also will influence your partner's chart. You will see that. So that is also a way of verifying whether that person is going to be your life partner. So these are all pointers. 7th Lord, say in your chart, is Jupiter. For example, say you have Pisces sign in the 7th house and 7th Lord is Jupiter. Or you may have Sagittarius in the 7th house and Jupiter is your 7th Lord. Okay. Now, if Jupiter is being aspected by Mars, Mars's 4th aspect is falling on Jupiter, say. Or say Jupiter is in conjunction with Saturn, or Saturn's aspect is falling on the 7th Lord. Then, what can you say? Your person will be heavily influenced by Mars and Saturn. Your person, your prospective life partner will heavily be under the influence of Mars and Saturn. So in their birth chart also you will see that Mars and Saturn will influence their Lagna or Lagna Lord, Ascendant Lord. It has to be there, or at least 5th or 9th Lord, or 5th or 9th houses, or the 1st house. These are the trinal houses, 1st, 5th, the Dharma trine. They are the Dharma trine. 5th first, fifth and ninth houses, they have to be influenced by Saturn or Mars, Saturn and Mars in the male native's chart also. Why? Because in your chart, Mars and Saturn are aspecting the 7th Lord Jupiter. So their first house or Lagna Lord, 5th house, 5th Lord, 9th house, 9th Lord also will be influenced by Mars and Saturn. That is another pointer. So if that is also matching, you can say that yes, these two people can get married, or there is a possibility that they are going to get married, or you can kind of say that yes, marriage is destined to happen if the dasha is also supporting. You can say that yes, they are destined to marry. Also, people look at the gunas. Yes, there are 36 gunas. Look at one very important thing which you should generally match. That is called the gana. Gana should match. That is, there are 3 ganas: Devgan, Rakshasagan and Manushyagan. 3 ganas are there: Devgana, Rakshasagana and Manushagana. So when you are matching 2 birth charts, make sure that Devgan can get married to any gun, but if the person belongs to Manushagan, say the female native belongs to Manav Gana or Manushya Gana, then they should not get married to somebody who belongs to the Rakshasa Gana. That also generally you should match. So that marriage is not actually advisable. Usually an astrologer would not, encourage a marriage between Manav or Manushya Gana and Rakshasa Gana. So this combination is not considered to be good. So even if the male native is Manushya Gana, then the female native should not belong to the Rakshasa Gana. So that Gana you need to be a little careful. Otherwise other gunas can be a little here and there, but this Gana is something which I have seen that is very important. You need to match that. Okay, so Gana refers to your basic nature. Actually, your basic nature on the basis of maybe even your past life, karmas and all. So your basic nature in this life, your inherent nature. So it is divided into 3 categories. Devgana, Devagana, like someone like a god or would have godly qualities. Manushyagana, someone human-like qualities. This is just a division. And the third is Rakshasagana, someone who would be like a demon. So that does not mean in real life they would be like a demon. No, it's not like that. But they would have certain, demons. They are hungry, So such natives, they might have a very strong Rahu presence in their chart, who belong to the Rakshasagana. This can happen. Rahu will influence the important houses or important planets. This can happen because such natives will have a great hunger in life for things. They could be greedy also. They could have the tendency to cheat on people, Rakshasagana people. But that does not mean that always they will be like that only. No. As I told you, Rahu, in their chart, along with age, maturity, after the age of 30, 35, Saturn will start giving them good results. Okay? And Rahu also, you can say that after the age of 40 onwards, Rahu will stop troubling them. So they will not remain that greedy and hungry for, maybe wealth and power. Always they will not remain like that. So definitely along with age, maturity, they will also be able to reform themselves. Because planets start giving you good results after you attain a certain age. That is very important. Alright. So yeah, but you look at this Gana is very important. So try to match this Gana. So that also has to be matched. Okay. So yeah, well, these things. I told you 7th Lord and 7th lord is in which zodiac sign? Say 7th lord is in, say, Virgo. Then 7th lord is ruled, say Jupiter, I said 7th lord in the chart of the female native is in Virgo. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Okay, so that a person also will have some inherent qualities of Mercury in them. So they may be very youthful, they may be again Virgo sign, so they may be very, very methodical, disciplined, and anyway Jupiter was being aspected by Mars and Saturn. So they will be methodical, disciplined. Mars is there aspecting Jupiter, 7th lord, so your person may be a little aggressive. They may at times get angry also. They may be very passionate about things. That also can happen. Saturn is aspecting, if Saturn in your chart is in good dignity, Mars also is in more or less good dignity in your chart, means they are not afflicted, then your person will be somebody who's very disciplined and hardworking, very goal oriented in life, a very mature person. Now Jupiter is in, Jupiter is in the sign of Virgo, ruled by Mercury. So they may also be very fun-loving at times. They may be very, they may be very childlike. They may have a good sense of humor also, because after all, Jupiter's dispositor is Mercury. Or they may be, their job may be connected to the finance sector, banking sector, or data analysis, or something, profession may be connected to Mercury. So Mercury may influence them as well, because your Jupiter 7th lord is in the sign of Mercury, whether Gemini or Virgo. So like that also you can look at. If Jupiter is in Virgo, then Virgo definitely is a sign of being very methodical, very goal oriented. Alright, so like that you need to find out. Okay, Mars is aspecting Jupiter, then your person may be a very good debater. They may have that argumentative ability also, because Mars is aspecting Jupiter. So they will not give up, they will never give up. They will make sure that they win in the debate. Yeah, they will have that debating tendency, that argumentative ability also they will have. But if Mars and Saturn, they are aspecting your 7th lord, but Mars and Saturn are well placed in the chart, then they will argue for a good reason. They will not argue without any reason, because Mars and Saturn, they are well posited. So that person will be very logical, will have a very logical bent of mind, and will be very hardworking, again methodical, very disciplined. Mars, Saturn. They may at times get impulsive also, because Mars gives, impulsively they may act. This can also happen because Mars is aspecting. Yes, but Saturn is also aspecting. So Saturn will also give them maturity, will bless them with maturity. So yeah, I mean, look at the planets which are aspecting your 7th lord, the dispositor of the 7th lord, and not just in the female's chart, but look at the 7th lord in the male native's chart also. Say in the male native's chart, the 7th lord is, say, Saturn. Say 7th lord is Saturn. The sign of Capricorn or Aquarius is in the 7th house. And the male native's chart, Saturn is the 7th lord. Then Saturn is in which zodiac sign? Saturn is the 7th lord, but Saturn is in which zodiac sign? That you have to find out. Okay? Now, so the dispositor of Saturn will be important. And also which planets are aspecting the 7th lord Saturn in the male native's chart. Those planets also will be very important in the female native's chart. So like that, friends. And I would say don't just look at the 7th lord and planets aspecting 7th lord, but in the case of the female native, look at Jupiter also, because Jupiter is the significator of husband. So how is Jupiter placed in the chart? Which planets are aspecting Jupiter? That is also important. In Bhrigunandi Nadi, Jyotish will look at Mars. So Mars is considered to be the significator of your spouse in Bhrigunandi Nadi. So look at Mars also. How Mars is placed. Which planets are aspecting Mars in the female native's chart. Those planets will somehow be important in the male native's chart. So these are further pointers. So, say Mars is with Mercury in the female native's chart, then Mercury will be a very important planet also in the male native's chart, like that. Now in the male native's chart, you have to look at the 7th lord, planets aspecting 7th lord, yes, but in the male native's chart also look at Venus, because Venus is the significator of the wife in the chart of the male native. In which zodiac sign Venus is placed? Is it placed in Libra? Is it placed in Taurus? In which sign Venus is placed? Look at that. And Venus's dispositor will be very important. Okay? Say if Venus is in Gemini in the male native's chart, then Venus is ruled by Mercury. Then Mercury will be a very important planet in the female native's chart. Which planets are aspecting Venus in the male native's chart? Okay? So, which are the planets that are aspecting? If Saturn is aspecting Venus, then Saturn will be an important planet in their chart. Your wife could be somebody who is very mature, even they could be a little older than you in age, or they will be very mature, very responsible, very hardworking, and Saturn will be an important planet in their chart also, because Saturn is in conjunction with Venus or is aspecting Venus strongly in the male native's chart. So these are all pointers, friends, which can help you know whether these two people, they are going to get married or not, whether the promise of marriage is there or not. So you need to look at the Dharakaraka planet, yes, in the female native's chart, in the male native's chart. Look at the 7th lord in both the charts. In case of the female native, look at Jupiter. From Parashari astrology, it's Jupiter who's the significator of the husband. In Bhrigunandinari, it is Mars. So I would suggest look at both Jupiter and Mars in the female native's chart. In the male native's chart, you look at Venus is the significator of spouse in the male native's chart. So look at how Venus is placed. So these are all pointers. And the most important thing is the dasha. Is the dasha supporting the event of marriage? That is very important. Okay, getting married at a mature age is always an added advantage, I have seen. Alright, now friends, so these are the various pointers which will enable you to know whether two people are destined to get married or not. Okay, now I will now show you two birth charts and I will match them, and I will show you how you need to look at the Dharakaraka planet, how you need to match the Dharakaraka planets. I'll show you two birth charts. Please have a look at the screen. Okay. Okay friends, now I'll quickly take you to my screen. Please have a look at the screen carefully, friends. Alright, so we will look at two birth charts. Yes, we'll look at the birth chart of the female native, and then we'll look at the birth chart of the male native. Alright, so let's open the birth chart of the female native. Okay, so here you can see the female native is a Leo ascendant. Yes friends. Alright, look at the planets which are here mentioned here. Alright, just below the chart, look at the degrees of the planets. The degrees. Which planet is at the lowest degrees? Yes, can you see? Which planet is at the lowest degrees? It is Jupiter. Yes, Jupiter is at 5 degrees 26 minutes 56 seconds. Yes, so Jupiter is at the lowest degrees in the chart of this female native. So Jupiter will be the Dharakaraka planet in the chart of the female native, or Jupiter is the significator of the spouse or Dharakaraka in the female native's birth chart. Is it clear? It is at 5 degrees 26 minutes and something. So this is the lowest degrees here. Clear? Now, Jupiter has to be a very important planet in the chart of the male native. So now we'll open the male native's birth chart. Look at this chart carefully, friends. This is the chart of the male native. Just have a look at this chart carefully and tell me whether Jupiter is an important planet in this birth chart. Have a look at this chart. I give you a few seconds to think, to decide, to tell me whether Jupiter is an important planet in this chart. Yes or no? Well, the answer is yes. Why? Because Jupiter is the 9th lord in this chart. Can you see, friends? Jupiter is the lord of the 9th house. In the 9th house, you have the sign of Pisces. Yes? So Jupiter is the 9th lord in this chart. So Jupiter is a very important planet in this birth chart. It is the 9th lord. It is posited in the 2nd house where it is retrograde. So it is also casting 12th aspect on the Lagna. As per Bhrigunandinari, it is casting 12th aspect on the Lagna, besides casting other aspects. So Jupiter is the 9th lord in the chart of the male native. So that means Jupiter is really a very important planet in the chart of the male native. Yes? So this is definitely matching here. So in the female native's chart, we saw that Jupiter is at the lowest degrees, Dharakaraka planet. And this is the male native's chart. In the male native's chart, Jupiter is the 9th lord. Alright? Okay. So this is matching here. Now we'll look at the degrees of planets in the male native's chart. Just below the birth chart, you will find the degrees of planets. Which planet is at the lowest degrees in the male native's chart? Can you tell me quickly? Yes, you're right. It is Saturn. Saturn is at 3 degrees 25 minutes 23 seconds. Saturn is at around 3 degrees. It is at the lowest degrees in the birth chart. So Saturn is the Dharakaraka planet in the chart of this male native. Saturn is the significator of the spouse. Alright? Now quickly we'll find out if Saturn is an important planet in the chart of the female native. We'll open the female native's birth chart. We have opened already. So here, find out if Saturn is an important planet. Just have a look at the chart for a few seconds, for a few moments, and tell me if Saturn is an important planet in the chart of this female native. Now friends, maybe you need to adjust your phone so that you can look at the chart. You can look at the charts carefully. You need to adjust maybe or tilt your phone a little. Alright? So that you can look at the chart properly. So yeah, please do that. Yeah, so is Saturn an important planet in this chart? Yes, the answer is yes. Because you look at, I told you one important sutra, that moon, you have to look at moon. Sun, moon and Lagna, they are very important. Sun, moon, Lagna, Lord or ascendant lord. So moon is very important, we know. Moon is in the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. Yes? And moon's dispositor, Saturn, is in the 4th house. Okay? But, which is a Kendra house again. But what is most important is that moon is in the sign of Aquarius. Moon is in the sign of Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. So this is also matching here. This is also matching. Alright? So what we saw in the chart of the male native, Saturn is the Dharakaraka planet. Now we have come to the chart of the female native. Here we can see that Saturn is a very important planet. Why? Because moon is in Aquarius. Moon is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. So Moon's dispositor is Saturn. So definitely Saturn is a very important planet in the chart of this female native. It is a very important planet. Saturn is a very important planet because, as I told you, Moon is in Aquarius. So it is clear. So this is how, friends, you need to match the Darakarikas. You need to find out whether the Darakarika in the chart of the male native is important in the chart of the female native, and the Darakarika in the chart of the female native. We saw that in the female native's chart, Jupiter is the Darakarika. So whether Jupiter is an important planet in the chart of the male native. So that's what you need to find out. So in case of these two birth charts, we can see that yes, the Darakarikas are perfectly matching. And for your kind information, these two natives, male and female natives, they have been married for the last 15 years. They are blessed with a son also, and their marriage is quite happy and successful, I should say. Alright, so I know them personally, actually. So yes, so they are husband and wife. They've been married for the past 15 years. So that's how you need to match the Darakarika planets in the chart of the male and female natives. So friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do share and like, and if you want personal consultation, details are there in the video description. Thank you, friends. Take care.